Hello YouTube, about to do an install on the CBR600 carbon fiber fairings.
Alright, here we go. Through on that side?
Yeah.
Everything's lined up. Let's see, get everything started.
This bike's about to look so good when it's finished. Hopefully it's not too hard to put together.
I don't think it's gonna be. Fitment should be pretty good though. See if I can, yep, there we go, got that one. Now these bottom ones, I think you gotta play with a little bit. But I'll see. So we had a little bump in the road there. This part actually was it was drilled like a little bit off. So we had to, still working on it, but we had to stretch it on this side. Let's see how it's going. It's actually going in now, so. All right. So after a little bit of cutting and shaving and whatnot, finally ready to tighten everything down. Make sure it's even on both sides. Yep, looks pretty good. Okay. Let's take this, tighten everything down real quick. Alright. How's it look?
Looks real good, bro.
Good.
We had to cut a little bit in this.
Yeah, I had to cut a little bit and stretch it, honestly. I mean, it wasn't too bad after we found out, you know, what we were doing. But so now everything's tightened down. Got all the bolts in. Yeah. So this is the one we actually had to like drill it out a little bit to get it to fit. It was a little bit off. Now, with the race fairings, they don't actually come with pre-drilled holes for the brake lines. So we don't know what we're gonna do for that yet, but you got one on each side, of course. But as soon as we figure that out, we'll make a video and show you guys. So the next piece, rear fender flare, or rear fender, whatever you want to call it. Let's see here. We also had to cut this one a little bit. Pretty much like bore out the holes. They were like probably like a millimeter or two off, not too big of a deal, but just to get some better fitment. Let's see. Let me put this front one in first. It's kind of hard to see, to be honest. Gotta feel for it. Alright. Now that sucker's on there. There we go. Okay. Alright, so next, I'm gonna come over here before I tighten everything up. Put this one in. Just slide through this line here. Puts in like that. Tighten it down a little bit. Like I said, I'm not going to tighten it all the way down right now. To get the other side on. Alright. Now the other side. Oh, Yeah, this one we had to drill out too. You can kind of tell where we drilled it out, but you know, like I said, no big deal. Everything's not perfect, but now just tighten them all up. It actually looks pretty good. The fitment on it, really good. Don't sit too high off the tire, which I'm a little concerned about with bumps, but we'll see how that works out. Plays out over time. All right, now I'm just tightening everything up. All right, I think all right, good. Now let's see what the next piece is, and we'll get started on that. All right, so the next section we're gonna do is probably gonna do the tank and the tail together. Well, with this kit, it said it deletes the rear brake light, but there's actually a gap in the back, so we're gonna see if we can leave the brake light on. Not sure if we can yet. I don't know how it's gonna fit, but we did have to grind 2 plastic pieces off here. They stuck about that far. Had to grind them off. There's one on each side. That wasn't too big of a deal, and then all the carbon fiber fit pretty well actually. Yeah, but we're gonna go ahead and get started on that. Like I said, next thing we're gonna put on the tank. Let's see. Fits pretty well there. Get it bedded in there. All right. Now the tank, we really didn't have to cut too much. Everything fit pretty well on that. But like I said, the rear tail piece we had to cut a little bit, and we also had to cut some of the plastic on the bike. I'm not going to tighten that down all the way yet. And there's just 3 bolts holding this in. Alright, finally got that sucker in. Had to go and cut it a little bit more, but it's going in now. All right. Now to the other side, do the same thing. Also not going in. We might have to end up cutting this one too. So we didn't have to end up cutting this one. It was just a little off on the other side, so we moved it around and got it fixed up. So, all right, now that that one's in, we're gonna go back around and tighten them all up, and then we'll start working on the tail piece. All right, make sure it's good and tight. Don't want that flying off at 55 miles an hour because we keep it under 55, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That one's good.
Maybe 56 if we're going downhill.
Oh yeah. You know, speedometers can be off 1 or 2 miles an hour. All right, perfect. Now, tail piece.
So if you don't know what we mean by cutting, we just have this little tool, and we're just grinding it out a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much all we've been doing for it the whole time. But it's not too bad, but you know, hate cutting carbon fiber. Alright, so now we're actually cutting the other side. This one doesn't need as much cutting as the other one did, but you know, still needs a little bit. Alright, so we actually got the tail light in, but in order to keep the tail light in, we had to cut it a little bit more. Because the tail light added a little bit, like it kept it from fitting perfectly, of course, but it didn't take much. We got the tail light in. Now we're just going through, tightening everything back down, and I think she's all good to go for the tail section and the tank.
Can't believe we gotta keep the tail light.
I know, that's sweet, honestly.
Wish we could have the headlights too.
Yeah.
But unfortunately we can't.
Alright. So got that tightened up. Should have one more bolt over here. Yep. Alright.
This thing's coming along and looking real nice.
And it's actually not taking that long, but like I said, we had to cut a couple things. I don't know if we'll put any of the cutting in the video. You really can't hear us talking, but yeah, it's actually coming right along pretty easy. Like I said, besides, you know, cutting a couple things, but yeah. I'm liking it so far.
What's the next thing we're gonna do? The front or the belly?
I think we're gonna start on the front because I think that's gonna give us the most problems. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do is we'll go with the speedometer. This is actually pretty simple. It just pretty much plug and play, honestly. Just put that in there and then just push it through.
So what does that do? What's this bracket do?
So the bracket goes onto the I believe it's called the air intake box or whatever it's called. And then there's like 3 mounting points. It just mounts on top. And we'll show you guys as soon as we get it mounted on there, of course. Right now I'm going to go ahead and put the screws in here for this. And
This is the easy part.
Oh yeah, this is definitely the easy part.
Bracket, speedometer, and three
screws. Well, technically 6 screws, but you know, we haven't got the other piece on to put this on there yet. So as of now, it's just 3 screws.
Show them after it's done.
Yeah, we'll show y'all after it's done while I tighten these screws up. We don't have an actual screwdriver, so we'll be right back with you guys. Alright. So, next thing we're going to do is the air box. We got the speedometer put together on the bracket. So, once this is all said and done, this is going to be on here like this. And the speedometer is going to set on top like that. And then we're going to bolt it all down and we'll get back with you guys as soon as we do that. Alright, so after a couple hours of work, not even gonna lie, we had to go to Walmart and get bolts for this. Why it didn't come with it, who knows. But we finally got the speedometer on, the bracket, and the air box. And I believe now we are ready to start on the front. Let's see how big of a challenge this is going to be. Hopefully it's not like the rest of the bike, which I have a feeling it's going to be.
I feel like it's going to be difficult too.
Yeah, there's definitely going to need to be some more cutting, unfortunately, but because I know we placed it on there a little bit before and the holes really didn't match up, but we'll see how it goes and get back with you once we get it on. So, yeah, this definitely going to be a struggle.
Might have to pause this so I can help them out just a little bit.
Just a tad bit, maybe.
And he breaks it. It's okay though.
Breaks a $4,000 carbon fiber piece. Nah, it'd be alright. Actually, I think we might be getting somewhere, to be honest. Oh, maybe not.
As he breaks it again.
Oh, trust me, I'm a professional. I'm a professional carbon installer after this.
I'm so ready to get this bike pictures. Professional pictures on this bike? It's
Bro.
gonna be nasty.
You think I'm joking? This might actually fit without, like, too much drilling.
No drilling at all?
I didn't say that. Hey, I didn't say no drilling at all, but without too much drilling, I think this might work out, honestly.
Might line up.
Yeah.
Might be the first piece out of this whole video that we're doing.
Man, this thing is looking fantastic, though. Alright, so I think we're going to start by putting these in. Getting this lined up first. But obviously, this don't even line up with the holes yet.
Uh-oh. We're in trouble already.
Wait. Nope, just kidding. Thought we had something.
Alright, we'll be back with y'all in a second.
Alright, so I thought we were going to get away with not cutting anything, but this hole is a little bit too small and it's a little bit off. You can kind of tell it's a little bit off. So we're going to shave just ever so slightly out, and after that we should get a pretty good fit, and we'll be back to y'all as soon as we do that. Alright, so here's us. This is basically what we're doing. Just taking this from the center. Alright, so that should be good. Let's see. Nope. Need a little bit more. Alright. Still need a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Alright, so a little update video. We were putting this on, got it on, then we tried to put the rivets in to like fasten it down to the tank. Realized that the clips underneath it, which look like this over here, they're not really pressed down all the way. Needless to say, it's not long enough, okay? So here we are, taking the entire bike apart, you know, just to press some clips down so we can get the rivets in. So I guess we'll get back to you guys as soon as we get them rivets in, and then we'll give you a little update video on how it went. So we just had to take the little grinder and grind these little tabs off right here. Then we actually stuck some nuts into there. You can kind of see it right there. Hopefully we can screw into that instead of using the rivets or whatever they're called that came with it. But yeah, we're gonna go in more like depth and detail on the next piece we do. We're gonna show you guys a little bit more. We just want to make sure it's gonna work first, so we'll show you all that. So this is a solution we came up with. We drill it out, put a nut in there, and then put this bolt through it to the nut, tighten it down. It actually looks relatively good. I think that's the only two we got in so far. And we still got one more to do here, and then the bottom two where you just drilled out. So we got the bike all finished. We just installed this bottom piece right here. Again, we had to do the same thing since the rivets didn't fit. We had to drill out the insides, put the bolts behind it, and then or the nuts, and then put the bolts through it. But we didn't really do an install video on this because we needed 2 people. But the bike is finished, and it, let me just say, it looks fantastic. I don't think it's gonna pick it up on camera too well, but the carbon fiber, oh my gosh, it literally looks so great. But like, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of work, definitely a lot of work getting this on, but I think it was totally worth it. This thing looks fantastic. Show you a little, oh yeah, that thing, I can't wait to have this thing out on the road, see it in the sunlight.